Publications that report findings set them in the context of the domain, grounding them in the expertise of the audience. Information necessary to understand the argument, methods, and conclusions are presented. Details necessary to replicate the study are often omitted because the audience is assumed to be familiar with the methods of the field. Replication and reproducibility, although a common argument for releasing data, are relevant only in selected fields and difficult to accomplish even in those. Determining which scholarly products are worth preserving is the harder problem. Policies for data management, release, and sharing obscure the complex roles of data in scholarship and largely ignore the diversity of practices within and between domains. Concepts of data vary widely across the sciences, social sciences, and humanities, and within each area. In most fields, data management is learned rather than taught, leading to ad hoc solutions. Researchers often have great difficulty reusing their own data. Making those data useful to unknown others for unanticipated purposes is even harder. Data sharing is the norm in only a few fields because it is very hard to do. Incentives are minimal, and extensive investments in knowledge infrastructures are required. This book is intended for the broad audience of stakeholders in research data, including scholars, researchers, university leaders, funding agencies, publishers, libraries, data archives, and policymakers. The first section frames data and scholarship in 4 chapters, provoking a discussion about concepts of data, scholarship, knowledge infrastructures, and the diversity of research practices. The second section consists of 3 chapters exploring data scholarship in the sciences, social sciences, and humanities. These case studies are parallel in structure, providing comparisons across domains. The concluding section spans data policy and practice in 3 chapters, exploring why data scholarship presents so many difficult problems. These include releasing, sharing, and reusing data, credit, attribution, and discovery, and what to keep and why. Scholarship and data have long and deeply intertwined histories. Neither are new concepts. What is new are efforts to extract data from scholarly processes and to exploit them for other purposes. Costs, benefits, risks, and rewards associated with the use of research data are being redistributed among competing stakeholders. The goal of this book is to provoke a much fuller and more fully informed discussion among those parties. At stake is the future of scholarship. Christine L. Borgman, Los Angeles, California, May 2014. Part 1. Data and Scholarship. Chapter 1. Provocations. The value of data lies in their use. National Research Council, Bits of Power. Introduction. In 1963, Derek de Sola Price famously contrasted little science and big science. Weinberg recently had coined the term big science to refer to the grand endeavors a society undertakes to reflect its aspirations. The monuments of 20th century science to which Weinberg referred included huge rockets, high-energy accelerators, and high-flux research reactors. They were symbols of our time, comparable to the pyramids of Egypt, Versailles, or Notre Dame. This was the age of Sputnik, and a time in which vast sums of money were being poured into the scientific enterprise. Price and Weinberg questioned the trajectory of big science, asking about the relative value of big and little science, whether big science was worth the monetary investment, and even whether big science was ruining science generally. Big data has acquired the hyperbole that big science did 50 years ago. Big data is on the covers of Science, Nature, The Economist, and Wired magazine, and the front pages of the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, and many other publications, both mainstream and minor. Just as big science was to reveal the secrets of the universe, big data is expected to reveal the buried treasures in the bit stream of life. Big data is the oil of modern business, the glue of collaborations, and a source of friction between scholars. Data do not flow like oil, stick like glue, or start fires by friction like matches. Their value lies in their use.